Hey everybody, how are you tonight? I hope y'all are having a great day. Tonight, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite channels that I like to watch. As you know, I've always been into true crime. My husband was an ex-cop, and we had forensic files on the TV 24/7 pretty much. We even slept to it. So, I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite true crime channels and some of my favorite channels that have been exposing these people who we call tragedy pimps on YouTube. These are people who claim that they are true crime channels, but they don't do the actual research into crimes, and they offer their own opinions and think that their opinions are fact, and on and on and on. So, the first thing I want to talk about are my favorite true crime channels. Okay. There are so many. I love 10 to Life. That's Annie Elise. She is amazing. She researches her stories from the very beginning up until the end, and she does cover current stories as well. She will go into a whole lot of different cases, but when there is something happening real time, she does cover it. So I love her. She's really the only true crime channel that I watch um, consistently. There are, several all over the internet. Whatever you choose, you can do, but I just recommend her as my number one. Now, number two, he's not exactly a true crime channel, but he talks about cases. So, that is the Glarer. I love the Glarer. He's a great channel. I think his main goal in life is to expose the YouTube idiots who call themselves true crime channels. But he does talk about cases, and he talks about them with a lot of empathy, and is very thorough about the cases. And he has a great personality, very rough around the edges, vulgar language. So if the F word makes you cringe, he may not be for you. Me, I don't care. I love him for his honesty and his professionalism. He doesn't call himself a professional, but compared to all of these other idiots on YouTube, he is really, really good. Second running, I would put the Glare and Burnt Toast probably in the same category, because Burnt Toast is a commentary channel. And what she does is she does clips. Okay, there's a lot of clip channels, but I consider her one of the best. She does clips of problematic YouTubers, and she comments on them. Commentary channel. These are used through the fair use rule of YouTube. The fair use rule of YouTube is that you can use clips, but you would have to either comment on them, change them somehow, just to make it a little bit more original. Some clip channels actually play the person speaking, but they will have like cartoon characters for them as their voice, because they're changing it, and they're commenting. So the bad thing about this is that several YouTubers who call themselves true crime have struck Burnt Toast channel. They have struck other clip channels. The thing of this is that they are false strikes. All right. So one particular person, Bullhorn Betty, has struck Burnt Toast, and her cohort JLR, Jonathan Lee Riches, has also struck her with false strikes. What happens is when you do a strike on a channel, YouTube actually goes to the channel that you're complaining about, and they review the channel. Okay. And using YouTube guidelines, they decide whether or not your video is within compliance. Burnt Toast has won every single time. JLR tried to claim that her avatar was his work, which it isn't. It was made by one of Burnt Toast's dear friends for her. I mean, they do these false strikes all the time. And the last time that BHB did a strike on her, Burnt Toast gets a copy of the emails that YouTube sends to BHB. The last one told her that if she continues to do false strikes, she runs the risk of losing her channel. So she needs to stop. VHB actually thinks that she can sue YouTube because the fair use is not correct under YouTube's services, terms of services, and the woman's a hoot. She thinks she knows everything. She's very sue happy. She loves to sue everybody. She was kicked out of the press corps because of her behavior down in Savannah, Georgia. If anybody watched that, she stood outside the house of the family of Quentin Simon, who was missing from Savannah, Georgia. His mother was named the sole suspect, but had not been arrested yet because the police needed more evidence before they did that. Of course, Bullhorn Betty thought this was ridiculous. She needed to be arrested for anything just to get her into jail, which is not the way it works. But she stood outside their house for 2 weeks, screaming and yelling. Terrible, terrible comments. Terrible comments. Molly Golightly was there, screaming at baby killer. What did you do with your baby? All kinds of shit like that. And so, yeah, these people are horrible. The things that they do to families. And then Molly Golightly is the same thing. She inserts herself into cases and actually contacts families. She always says, the families contact me. Why would they contact her, a YouTuber who's been known to scam and traumatize families of victims? No, she inserts herself all the time. So Burnt Toast and the Glare are the top two for me that do the clips and expose these people so that we are aware. I believe that before Bullhorn Betty went down to Idaho to cover the horrible case of the 4 college students that were unalived, that town was called and warned about her. So when she got there, she was on her best behavior, which is good. Now, she did try to interview college students, and they all would not talk to her. Thank the Lord, because once she gets her hands on a witness, she spews so many lies, so many speculations, and she was just shut down in Savannah, and I'm glad about that. But anyhow, that's just an overview of, these channels that are ridiculous. And Burnt Toast is fantastic. She does it once or twice a week live streams. She covers Bullhorn Betty. She covers Molly Golightly. She covers another channel, Shani for Life. She's another YouTuber who, that's a totally different genre with Shani, for Christ. She is basically an e-beggar, totally, and a total drama channel. Um, so that's another topic. So anyhow, then we go down to the clip channels that I love to watch all the time, and that is Heels in the Air is my number one channel. There are so many others, like the Couch Clips is fairly new. Blank Screen TMHT is fairly new. Uh, Constance Sue, she's another one. She has a pretty long name though. Constance Sue knows something, something like that. I'm just trying to remember some of them off the top of my head. I'm going to hashtag the ones that I watch a lot. Um, Kool-Aid used to be one. I don't know if she has her channel anymore. I don't think so. That's the bad thing about some of these clip channels. They get hit with strikes and then they just kind of disappear. Um, Although I do question some of them because some of them will just out and out just show the YouTubers without any commentary. And I think that is probably against the Fair Use Act. I don't think that is considered fair use if you just put up, you know, a clip of them, you say nothing, you don't change it or anything. And that that can be an issue, and that could be why some of these channels have disappeared. But Bird Toast knows what she's doing. There's another channel that actually uses characters, cartoon characters, in place of the actual people who are talking. And I don't remember which one that was, but they're all pretty creative and pretty amazing. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I like Cinema Shogun a lot. He's been covering pop culture and some true crime lately. I believe he covered the Gabby Petito case and then the Quentin Simon case, and he covers Britney Spears a lot, and I like him very, very much. So those are my favorite channels, and I think that if you don't want to watch these people, which I usually don't either, sometimes I'll watch MGL just to see what crap comes out of her mouth, which kind of uh, prompted that video yesterday when I was watching her live and her talking so much about herself. They always come back. They leave me, but they always come back, just so full of herself. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video with a little bit of information I gave you about each one of these channels. And I hope you all have a great night. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.